This video is going to demonstrate how to issue a bond. It's going to include calculating the market value of the bond and recording the issuance of the bond, recording the interest payments, and calculating and recording amortization. The data for our example: on January 1st, a corporation issued a $1 million 5-year 10% bond that pays interest semi-annually. The market interest rate on January 1 was 12%. First question is, what is the principal amount? The principal amount, also known as the face amount, is the $1 million. Second question is, what is the amount of a semi-annual interest payment? Meaning that we pay these interest payments twice a year. To calculate that, we're going to take the $1 million face amount, or principal, times the contract rate of interest, which is the 10%, and we'll divide that by 2 to represent that it's a 6-month payment or semi-annual interest payment. Okay, and that total amount then is $50,000. The next thing we need to do is we need to calculate the present value of the principal. To calculate the present value of the principal, we need to figure out we need to go to a table that's in the textbook for the interest rate, which we call little I, and the N, or number of payments, number of periods. Okay, I is the interest rate and N is the number of periods. Since the bond pays interest semi-annually, twice a year, the 12% annual market rate must be divided by 2 to get a 6% semi-annual rate. Likewise, the 5-year life gets multiplied by 2 so that we have a total of 10 periods. The reason for this is the compounding. 2 payments a year means compounding twice a year. Okay, so now if you go to the present value of a dollar table that's in the text, you'll find the corresponding present value factor, which is 0.55840. When we multiply that present value factor times the principal amount of $1 million, we get $558,400. And that's the present value of the face amount. The next step is to calculate the present value of the interest payments. Okay, similarly, we're going to use an interest rate of 6% and a number of periods of 10 for the same reasons that we discussed in calculating the face amount. But the difference here is, because the interest is paid on a regular basis the same amount, that's an annuity. So we go to the annuity of a dollar table in the text and find that the corresponding present value factor is 7.36009. And we use the annuity table again because the same interest amount is being paid at regular intervals of time. So when we take that semi-annual interest payment of $50,000 multiplied by that present value factor of an annuity, we get $368,005. Now, in order to get the total selling price of the bond, i.e. the present value of the bond, we add the present value of the principal and the present value of the interest payments, and we get a total selling price of $926,405. And we always do a reasonableness check afterwards. Now, since the market rate of interest is greater than the contract rate, the 12% is greater than the 10%, the bond should sell it at a discount. Okay, and that's because if you're going to buy an investment that's going to pay you less than what the current market rate is, then you should be able to buy that investment for less in order to make up the difference. And that's why it would cost less. You're buying it for less because you're going to get less interest payments than you will if you invested your money at the market rate. Now the journal entry is to debit cash for the amount we received on the bond. That's the $926,405. We're going to credit bonds payable for the $1 million face amount. That's the amount we've got to pay at the end of the bond's life. And we debit discount on bonds payable for the difference of $73,595. The discount on bonds payable account is a contra account, which reduces the bonds payable account on the balance sheet, and the normal balance of the discount is a debit. Amortization of the discount and the interest payment journal entries. Straight line amortization of a bond discount is similar to straight line depreciation. The discount is amortized evenly over the bond's life. This bond has a life of 5 years, or a total of 10 semi-annual interest payments. If the discount is spread over the 10 semi-annual interest payments, $7,359.50 of the discount is amortized on each payment date. Since the discount is additional interest, in reality, the interest expense recognized is greater than the amount of interest paid. So the journal entry to record a semi-annual interest payment along with the discount amortization is debit interest expense for the total of the amortization and the cash payment interest amount, credit the discount on bonds payable for the amount of the discount taken, amortized rather, and credit the cash for the $50,000 that's actually going out in the form of interest payments. If the discount is spread over 5 years and just recorded annually, then it's going to be double the $77,000 number to $14,719, which is the total discount amortized over 5 years. Again, it's additional interest. We could make this in two journal entries. The first one to record the actual cash payment of the interest of $50,000. The second one would be an annual amortization entry of the $14,719 for the amortization of the discount.